So many people, documentary, podcasts, ask me if I can help, and they research. Nobody can find me.
So he's just completely off the grid. Hey guys, whatever happened to David Bradley?
It's a good question. Whatever happened?
That's one of the great martial arts movie-related mysteries of our time. This video was inspired by a conversation I had with Sam Firstenberg, legendary Cannon director. He gave us Revenge of the Ninja, American Ninja, and a whole lot more. Check out his YouTube channel, by the way. I'll link it in the description below. And there's going to be a lot more videos with Sam in the future, but this one, of course, is focusing on David Bradley, and Sam has a very interesting theory. But before we get into all of that, I do want to give a shout out to Harry Mock on behalf of Jeff Langton. Harry is unfortunately going through some health issues, and I noticed there's actually a GoFundMe page, which I'll link in the description below if you want to help him out with that. But at the very least, send some prayers and well wishes his way. I'm going to do the same. I don't know the guy, but he's a friend of a friend. And unfortunately, a lot of these martial art guys, from that era who was in a lot of these movies and helping out and doing all that. Here's a cool picture of Harry from Rambo 2, by the way. A lot of them actually have run into some health issues lately. I know Ernie Reyes Jr. has, Jeff Langton himself, and some other people. So, just send your well wishes their way, and let's hope everybody gets better. And with all that said, let's get on to trying to figure out whatever happened to David Bradley.
Yeah, I had only one movie that I directed that producer got involved later behind my back after my editing, and changed it. It was American Samurai with David Bradley.
Oh, and Mark Dacascos.
So the final editing is not exactly the way I saw the movie. I mean, they couldn't. They had to use the material that I directed, but yeah.
So are you
altered?
Are you happy with that film, or are you
not at all?
Oh,
no. I mean, no. The movie delivered. There is action. It delivers on the action level and this level of the fight in the arena, but not really. They altered the story in a way that I don't.
Oh, that's interesting.
The company, after I finished, a few months later, they took it and they changed the story to linear story. All of the ninja movies, all of the martial art movies that I directed, the story is not linear. You start at some climatic event, at some kind of a pivotal event, and slowly you peel off the layers of the onion to discover the reasons why is the hero so and so, and why is the protagonist, why is the antagonist, with the time. Mm-hmm. And so was the original American Samurai was the same thing. It started with some event and David Bradley, and later on, as the story goes along, you discovered the background, and you discover that David Bradley and Mark Dacascos are really half brothers, but and suddenly somebody, I don't know who was not with me, decided to change the movie to linear. Once upon a time, there were two kids, two brothers, grew up together, went apart, and the movie goes this way, which in my opinion is childish. That's the way you tell stories to children, not to adults. That's my opinion. But they couldn't change the fight. And they even added little bit, some kind of love scene that was not in the original, kind of few.
Interesting.
Sexual.
Yeah, they probably thought that element would sell more.
Which is added. You don't see David Bradley and you don't see the actress.
Oh, that's funny.
It was all body doubles.
Let me ask you this: how was working with David Bradley? Because you guys worked on a few films together.
Yeah. Now David was a martial artist.
Yeah, sure.
He was a real martial artist. He also was a musician and other inspiration. But we became friends. David has the same charisma, on the screen. The screen loved him. The screen loves Michael Dudikoff. The screen loved David Bradley. Mm-hmm. And he was a martial artist. So I think he had a little bit more input and ideas about let's do it this way, let's do it the other way, according to his knowledge and his ability in martial art. But we became very friendly. He lived not far from me for many years. He lived not far from me, and we used to see each other He disappeared. Nobody knows.
Yeah, that's what people say, and they ask me about it. I'm like, I'll do a deep dive someday, but do you know why? Like, what happened to him?
I don't know why. Why, I don't know. He, at some point, you know, we worked together 4 or 5 times in 4 or 5 different movies in South Africa and in Indonesia. And we kept, even after we finished, and we kept friendly. And then one day he disappeared for almost a year or so. And then I get a call after a while, and he said, hi. I said, hi, David, how have you been? He said, I was in Jerusalem. I said, for a year and a half? I said, yeah, I was for a year and a half in Jerusalem. I said, what are you doing? What have you done in Jerusalem? He said, I studied, that's the way he said it to me. I studied with the learned. So obviously he went a little bit into the religious side.
Okay.
And then I still talked with him a few times, and then he dropped out of sight, and nobody knows. Nobody can locate him. You know, so many people, documentary, podcasts, ask me if I can help, and they research. Nobody can find him.
So he's just completely off the grid.
And this was not his name. Maybe he went back to his original name. It's not David
That is
Bradley.
so weird.
Bradley is his first name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bradley something. Not Bradley Cooper. Bradley, I forgot his name. Bradley, I forgot his second name.
Interesting.
So
maybe
maybe he went back to his original name.
Yeah, he could have. He could have. So he went to Israel. So is he Jewish?
No.
He's not
Christian,
Jewish?
you know, like
he's a Christian?
religion, yeah. He's from Texas. He's from
He's a Texan.
Yeah, he's a Texan. He's from Texas.
It's so weird because like a lot of celebrities, even if they haven't worked or done movies for so long, they'll still kind of in a way live off of their celebrity status, even if it's 20 years ago, going to conventions, selling autographs, doing stuff like that.
Nothing. But he has a Facebook page. Everybody of your viewer can go, and once in a while you see that he's still alive.
So he is still alive though.
Yeah. Once in a while he will post something, or he will react to some post or something.
As recently as January 5th, 2022, someone had posted on David Bradley's Facebook and said, "Happy New Year, my friend David. How are you? Are you alive?" And Bradley replied, "Yes, Azza. Thank God, I am."
I know that there was a period that he was teaching martial art in a university in the north, in one of the universities in the north. Yeah. He was teaching martial art, but even then that stopped. He's not there anymore.
Have you ever had a conversation with him where he may have alluded even subtly where he's just sick of like Hollywood and movies in that industry? Like, did you ever get a sense of that?
No, I will tell you what I know. David came to Hollywood to be in the music business, not to be in the martial arts.
Oh, you want to be a musician? Okay.
Yeah, he was a musician. He played,
okay, sure.
He sang, and he played the guitar. And this was his purpose coming from Texas to Hollywood, to make it in the music business. Somehow he met Menachem Golan, he met Michael Dudikoff, he met Menachem Golan, and they found out that he's a martial artist, and they needed somebody for. Michael didn't want to do American Ninja #3 or #4, and they recruited David.
Introducing David Bradley as the American Ninja. Now the power is in his hands. American Ninja 3, Blood Hunt.
For the job, and it rolled. He did. This was not the purpose. He was still struggling. He was trying to prove that he is a good musician and a good singer. But this field didn't work for him. So I don't know, maybe how did he move a little bit toward religion? And I don't know. And maybe that's not what he's doing nowadays.
Maybe he's just playing small gigs in local bars in Texas, man.
Maybe he is. But
under his real name.
And going back to his original name, maybe.
Interesting.
Bradley Thompson, something like this.
Okay.
Very Texan name, very English. You know?
Yeah. It's very interesting. That's very interesting. Maybe we'll figure that out someday.
But think about it. I don't want to imply, but think about it. David Koresh was a musician, frustrated musician that went into religion from Texas. David Bradley, musician, frustrated religion that moved to religion.
So maybe he's got his own like little compound out there. That would make sense. He'd want to be off the grid.
Because David is very charismatic, not only in the screen, in life also. People always followed him. For him, it was very easy. People looked up to him always. He knows how to talk and he knows how to get people excited.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, who knows, man? He might be doing something interesting.
So it's only a theory. Who knows?
It's a theory. It's a theory worth talking about for sure, man. So I reached out to David Bradley on Facebook, but have not heard anything yet, though he did accept my friend's request. But if any of you guys know whatever happened to him, let me know, because
you may be able to help solve a mystery.